That'll be an icing call, but they call a penalty as well. And Massena is going to be called for hooking as Todd Manning gets the first penalty of the hockey game. That'll be for hooking.
We have a nice little, I'll say, local flavor to the officiating tonight. Local by Massena, we have a Massena native. We're all familiar, former hockey player for Central, outstanding hockey player. Greg Murray is one of the officials for tonight's game. Greg is the son of John and Helen, and he's calling the game. But I want to tell our fans back in Massena, Greg didn't make that call.
No, Greg did not make the call. It was the other official who did. Okay, we've got on the power play, Villeneuve back out there along with Moulton and Brian Verville. And on the points, it's going to be Lance Gilbert for one and Kyle Lanfear for the other. We've got the 7-11 combination for Massena. Joey Fauché takes the face-off and comes up with the puck, whacks at it, doesn't get it out. Kept in at the point by Lanfear. His drive, and it goes wide. The rebound to the side of the net, and it's controlled back to the point. They move it around the horn. It comes back. Here's a shot by Lanfear, and that's deflected wide, and in the corner it goes. After it there, it comes on the 45 to Villeneuve, back to the point. Here's Lanfear. His shot, save made, rebound sits, and it's poked into the corner nicely by Jason Labarge. Now here come the Bob Whites. They keep it in the zone. Here's another shot blocked by a sprawling McCracken. And as Dave likes to say, he gave up the body. And he did a good job right there. In behind the net now, Kyle Lanfear with it. Lanfear starts out right side of his own net, trying to hit on the wing now. It goes to Gilbert, the defenseman, stolen by Fauché. He just slips it right back in the Bob White zone. We're down to 1:08 left in the power play. And let's see here, 11:53 in the period. Still no score in the hockey game on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Bouncing puck comes into the slot. Now they jam at it, and it goes wide by everybody. Back into the corner now. Bob White's trying to move it around. Comes back to Lanfear. He flips it on the 45. Around the horn it goes, in behind the net. Bounce pass comes in the corner. Here's Gilbert again. Gilbert behind his Massena net. Now moving it out to the 45. Back to the point it comes. Lanfear drives it. Fired it wide. The rebound in the corner. And we have a whistle, and I think they're going to call a man in the crease right there and move it outside the zone.
Good break from Massena right there. The Bob White's putting on, exerting all kinds of pressure. And this line of Dale Villeneuve and Steve Moulton and Brian Verville, along with Gilbert and Lanfear on defense, that's a nice fivesome. They move the puck around really well, and they are going to cause some problems for Massena if Massena continues to take penalties.
Going to see some new penalty killers and a new line. New line, Gilbert, Fadden. This is Silas Gilbert, Fadden, and Gilmore. And we've got Jeff Bigelow and also Jake Morris out there to kill for the Massena Red Raiders. Puck dumped deep in the Bob White zone, in behind the net now. Steve Young, the defenseman, starts to skate it out. He's got Bigelow forechecking, feeds it on the wing. It goes to Gilmore, who dumps it deep in the Massena zone. Racing for it is Ricky Fadden. Fadden centers it, but it goes in behind the net off a stick. The puck in behind now. They move it around. Back to the point, but it's deflected. Poked free, and Bigelow picks up the loose puck and starts it out of there. Here comes Jeff Bigelow. Stick handling it down the right side. Bigelow trying to feed Morris in the slot. Morris, and he can't get the shot off. Circles. Dogging the puck, trying to waste a little time. Finally, he pokes it in the corner, and that takes care of the penalty. Massena back to 5-on-5 hockey. Now comes free in front. Morris, the shot. Nice save by goaltender Marcia, and a good play by Jake Morris.
Excellent save, and a little extracurricular activity after the whistle. And we'll see if the official's going to make a call. He should. He's skating backwards. I feel that the Raiders are going to pick up, or the Bob Whites are going to pick up a penalty here. A little extracurricular activity. I think Brad Boudoulet is going to get the call for roughing, or hitting from behind, actually. But after the goaltender, Scott Marsh, had made the save, Boudoulet come in from behind and knocked the...
Looked like he called it on Fadden. Yeah, that's who he called it on. I agree with what you said, but that's...
Okay, no, it's Fadden. I had the right, just looking at the wrong number.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
all right.
Number 2.
Now, something you should notice, here in Vermont, the penalties are 2 minutes. So that'll give Massena a little bit longer time in the power play. If it seemed like the Bob Whites were on for a long time, I think it did. Here's Tommy Post. The drive is deflected up into the rafters, and we'll face it off again. Yeah, it did seem like a long time, didn't it?
Good. I had to look at the clock twice. I said, boy, that is a long minute and a half. Big number 16, Jeff Gilmore, in that last power play, plays in that second unit, was parked in front of the net down there, and Aaron Barker went to move him. He turned around and just kind of squatted there, put him right on his backside.
Morris out there to take the face-off, and it's dumped down the ice by the Bob Whites, stopped by Todd Hayes' side of the net. He leaves it for Tommy Post. Post feeds Morris, and Jake starts it down the left wing side. Here's Morris sliding into the zone, into the corner, trying to chase it down in behind the net. Here's Morris now from left to right of the goaltender. Circles, back to the point, and Labarge, oh, nice job to keep it in. What a beautiful job by Labarge. He flips it in the corner. Bigelow goes after it, has it taken away, and it's dumped down the ice by Kyle Lanfear. We're down to minute 15 left in the power play. Jason Labarge after it, and Massena makes a change. Going to come out with a second power play unit. Bigelow now flips it in the zone as he's still on the ice. Here's Fauché in behind the net now to Cameron. Back to Fauché. Back to Cameron at the 45. Chris goes to Fauché looking for the give and go, and he can't get the shot off. Comes back to Labarge. Labarge feeds Bigelow. It bounces over a stick in the corner. Lanfear and Bigelow jam. Left side of the goalie. Fauché comes in to help out as well. Puck still free. They fight for it. Lanfear moves it along the boards. Fauché gets a stick in. Finally, Lanfear kicks it. Fauché takes him into the boards. Bigelow in there still trying to take it away. And Lanfear doing a heck of a job keeping that puck moving but keeping it tied up. The puck comes back to the blue line, and Post can't keep it in. It goes all the way down the ice. Good job by Kyle Lanfear that time. Wasted a lot of time. 25 seconds in the power play. Jason Labarge behind his own net now. Starts it out. Being forechecked, circles back. Here's Labarge now feeding Post. Breaking out left side. Post drops it for Labarge, almost poked away, but it comes to McCracken. McCracken has it batted away from him, back into the Massena zone, and the puck picked up right in front. Here's the shot. Nice save by Hayes on Villeneuve, who stepped right off the bench, and Massena had a kind of a misconnection there, and he had a breakaway, but a good save by Hayes, an excellent save. Now the puck back in the Bob White zone, flipped around the boards. McCracken pinches in, trying to keep it in. He's bodied into the boards. And the puck squirts free. Now Fauché throws the check, and he jams for it in behind the net. And they still try to move it along the boards, and it's still free apparently. Finally, it comes free to McCracken. Scotty with it, tied up behind the net, looks to center it, but right there are the Bob Whites to move it out to center ice. Brian Levac is there. That was L.A. Ross moving it out. Levac, the shot from the point, deflected into the corner. Actually, that was just outside the blue line. Now they try to move it to Bob White, stolen away. Whitcup, backhand pass, goes in the corner. Tommy Moore chasing it down. He can't come up with it. They jam, he and the defenseman, and Moore kicks it free. Tommy trying to stay with it, gets knocked down. The puck underneath him, gets back up, and finally it's poked away from him and picked up by Silas Gilbert, and he moves it out to center ice. Here's Gilbert with the puck. Still no score on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. About halfway through the first period. Puck poked away by the Massena Red Raiders. Comes back to the blue line. Richard Ross for BFA dumps it in the Massena zone. Jackson flips to Levac. Levac trying to move it out. Doesn't get it out. It comes back in the corner. Racing for it there is Boudelet as it poked away from him and is picked up by Jackson behind the net. Jackson dumps for Levac again, right side of Hayes. Bounce pass out to center ice. Here's Manning with it. Manning across the blue line from Massena. Drop pass to Tommy Moore. Moore gets a shot. He fired it just wide. Puck in the corner. Bounced back to the blue line. Barkley tried to keep it in. Couldn't. Delay offsides, but Massena clears. No, they didn't apparently clear the zone. And offsides will be the call.
I'll tell you, the Raiders are just a half a step slow right now, and that's expected. They had a little over 3-hour bus trip, and they haven't walked off the bus into the locker room 15 minutes to warm up. So the Bob Whites are taking it to them, and they're using the body extremely well. They hit rather hard out there. The other club that they remind me of as far as hitting, not quite as physical, but the Rome club, Jerry. And Todd Hayes made an outstanding save. We'll touch on that a little later.
Okay, the fourth line out there for the Bob Whites, and we understand we're going to see them every once in a while. Zier, Larson, and Ellis. Here comes Manning with a puck for Massena. He's ridden into the boards heavily. The puck bounces to the blue line and out, and there's Collins. He's playing defense for Massena, not goal. Anyway, he's out there playing the right point, along with Barkley. Now the puck, Cameron trying to steal it, bounces along the boards, but is picked up by Ellis, and he flips it all the way down the ice, but not far enough for icing as Barkley gets to it before it crosses the red line. Takes it in behind the Massena net. Here's Barkley, bounce pass ahead. Manning tries to get it to Jackson, poked away, and the puck tied up by Collins momentarily goes into the corner. Ellis after it for the Bob Whites, and finally it's Manning coming away with it to the blue line, slides it out to center ice to Cameron. Cameron takes it in on the right side, has it poked away, feeds it in behind the net. Back to pick it up there is Lanfear. Lanfear bounces it ahead, doesn't get it out. Collins winds his shot, knocked down by the defenseman. Puck bounces free, and we're going to have a hand pass, I believe.
Getting back to that save that Todd Hayes made a minute ago, and it was an outstanding save. The puck came just over the blue line, and the both benches are side by side across the way. We're over here on the east side, and the benches are on the west side. And two Massena players ran into each other and knocked each other down, and then the puck just laid there. And the BFA player picked it up from the blue line and went in on Todd Hayes, and Todd stoned him.
That was their first-line center, Villeneuve.
Great save.
Dale Villeneuve. Off the face-off. Jake Morris's line out there, back to post at the point. His shot, I think it went off Bigelow's body, and it's poked out to center ice. Levac is there to dump it right back in the zone. Massena clears it. It comes in behind, stopped by the goaltender, Marcia. Now the puck left side of the net for defenseman Randy Yates, moving it up along the boards and out to center ice. Morris steals it. Oh, he just got railed. And the puck comes free, but Tommy Moore picks it up, takes it in the zone. Here's Moore in the corner now, has it poked away, and he lost it in his skates. And the puck comes free, and back comes BFA out to center ice, Ricky Fadden. Fadden dumps it in the zone. He and Post go together, and the puck comes in behind the Massena net. Here's Levac with it, slipping it around the boards for Bigelow. Bigelow now being forechecked, trying to move it up along, has it poked away, but gets it back to Post. Here's Post feeding Tommy Moore. Moore takes it in the zone. He gets railed out of the play. The puck comes free. Bigelow almost gets a piece of it, but breaking out on the other side. Here comes Richard Ross. Ross flips it back in the Massena zone. Around the boards it comes. Dale Villeneuve, taken out of the play, manages to get it free anyway to Moulton. Here's Moulton in behind the net. Tied up, goes to the side of the net, and Hayes is going to cover it up.
I'll tell you, Jerry, that number 60, Jeff Gilmore, he skates about as well as I do, but he's out there for a purpose. He's one solid individual. I'm going to guess he's about 5'11", 6 feet, and about 215 pounds, and he is rock solid. He's laid some wicked checks out there. He's waxed about 4 Raiders every time out there. He is one tough cookie.
Roulette out there, the face-off against Fauché off the face, fanned on the shot. Bouncing puck back to the point. Here's the drive. Hayes makes a save and manages. No, did he cover it up? I guess he did. The whistle blew.
Great save through traffic. Todd Hayes back to the point. Number 17, Lance Gilbert, unleashed a low bullet through traffic. And I don't know how Todd Hayes found it, but he did. He made the initial save, gave up the rebound, and then reached out with the blocker and with the glove hand and pulled it underneath him.
Face off right side of Hayes in the Massena zone. Now it's Ian Zier back out there with Danny Ellis and Pete Larson. Still no score in the hockey game. A little over 4.5 left to play in the period, first period. Here comes Jason Labarge now trying to move it out. Kept in at the point by Landfair. His shot. Hayes makes the save on the glove.
My observation here after 11 minutes of hockey, Jerry, this is an excellent hockey team that the Raiders are playing here. Again, Massena just got off the bus, 3-hour bus trip, and they haven't got their legs, but the Bob Whites are taking it right to Massena and had controlled probably 65-70% of the play, and Todd Hayes has made several sparkling saves here in this first period.
Roulette's line right back out against Jackson. Quick shot right off the face-off, and Hayes is going to hold on. And that was headed across the crease. I'm not sure. I guess it was on net, but he's trying to drop it behind, but the Bob Whites were right in on net, so he decided to hold on. The face-off will move to his left now.
Our vantage spot, as we mentioned here at this complex, we're on a platform, and our view is somewhat obstructed by a pipe that runs right across in front of us.
Off the face-off, the puck comes to L.A. Ross, back to the point. His shot knocked down. Comes to Manning, trying to sweep it out of there. He gets it just barely out. Knocked back in the zone. Massena clears it, though, and Manning starts it back the other way. Here's Manning dumping it deep in the zone. Back to pick it up there. And around the horn it goes. Grablin trying to move it back to the point. Post keeps it in. His shot knocked down. Here come the Bob Whites. Tony Grablin. And I guess Tommy Post just took him out of the way enough so he couldn't get a good run in on goal. Now back the other way. Jason Jackson flips to Cameron. Cameron steps by the D. Back to Jackson. In the corner, Jason looking, gets tied up in the corner, taken into the boards, and tries to move it back. It's poked away, and back out is Ross. Or no, excuse me, that's Moulton. Moulton dumps it in the Massena zone, goes to the side of the net. He follows it. Post trying to take him out of the play. Moulton slides it right in front. Here's the shot, and it goes into the corner. That was wide. After it there is Verville. Did Hayes get a piece of that? Okay, he did. So Hayes got a piece of that. Another big save then. Jackson flips it around the boards for Manning. Manning trying to move it ahead. And Jackson out to center ice. Here's Jackson looking for Cameron. It's intercepted. And here's the shot from just inside the blue line, taken by the defenseman Gilbert, and the save made. That's one of the easier saves that Hayes has made. Now Tommy Post, a problem getting it out of his own zone. Brian Levac comes back for it, bounces it off the glass out to center ice. Picked up by Lanphier, feeds it right back in the Massena zone. 2.5 left as Massena moves it ahead. Still no score. Here's Cameron with it. Cameron stick handles and dumps as Massena wants a line change. Massena trying to get that first line back on. Here's Bigelow down in the corner, jamming for it along with Richard Ross, the defenseman. Puck kicks free side of the net, and goaltender Marcia is going to cover it up, and face-off will be in the Bob White zone, one of the few times so far in the first period.
And Mr. Granite that we referred to before, number 16, Jeff Gilmore, he laid one on Tommy Post, but in return, Jason Jackson kind of knocked him off stride. He's not a good skater, so he can put a touch on him, but boy, he's solid.
Face-off. Back to the point. Barkley's quick shot goes wide. Rebound. Bigelow side of the net. Bigelow with it trying to center. It goes off a leg in the corner. Biggs will go after it right side. He flips it in behind. Defenseman Steve Young is there for the Bob Whites. Young now moves it along the boards for Gilmore. Gilmore and Morris jam. Gilmore loses it in the skate. It comes out to center ice. Here's Jake with it, flipping it back to Labarge at the Massena blue line. Labarge just had he just missed Morris with it. It goes right in on net. Marcia turns it into the corner. Young there, along with Morris, and coming back to help out is Silas Gilbert, the centerman. He picks up the puck, circles, starts to move it out. Here's Gilbert, bounce pass, doesn't get out, kept in by Labarge. His quick shot goes back in the corner. Tommy Moore is there, looking to center it. Moore, trying to skate away with it, gets tied up and knocked down. Coming back again is Silas Gilbert, flips it in the corner, Jake Morris. Back around the boards on the other side, left side of the goalie. Back after it is Richard Ross, the defenseman. Morris and Bigelow try to take him out of the play, but it's flipped up into the girders by Rick Fadden, and the face-off will be back in the Bob White zone. That's the first time Massena's been able to keep the puck in the zone for any length of time.
Yes, and defensively, the Bob Whites really play the man inside their own end. An excellent job. And offensively, they're aggressive. They come right at you. They're not giving that Raider defense much time to look up. They're right in on top of Massena.
Faucher's line out now for the Massena Red Raiders against the Brulette line. Off the face-off, puck around to Gravelin. He gets it out, dumped right back in. Delay offsides, they wave it off as BFA clears the zone. Here comes Lance Gilbert, dumping it down the ice into the Massena zone. Comes around the boards to Gravelin, looks to center it. Back to the point. Here's the drive to, just wide as Hayes stopped it. It went through his legs, but wide. Gravelin in the corner with it, taken out of the play. Faucher picks up the loose puck. We're in the last minute of play in this first period. Been a quick first period. Here comes Faucher, makes the shift across the blue line, trying to split the D, and he is rubbed out of the play, and the puck comes free in the corner. We got a penalty as Faucher just got a little bit roughed up after the play, and the Bob Whites will be killing one here.
Yes, I didn't see the call. I was watching Bobby Whitcup, who went to the bench, whether he was got hit here at center ice. I'm not sure if he lost an edge on his skate or he was somewhat slight injury. I'm trying to pick him up. He's over on the bench. Coaching staff is talking to him. Raiders going on a power play. We've got 43 seconds left in the first period in a 0-0 hockey game, and an impressive Bellows Falls Academy Bob Whites. And that's a bird, Jerry.
Yes.
I think.
Are we going to talk about the other story we heard? I don't know if that was a joke or not. Face-off comes to Morris. Morris takes it back to the point, takes it back in on the right side, drops it to Tommy Post. Post winds up, fakes the shot, goes to Morris. Morris to give and go to Bigelow, back to Morris. It comes right across the goal mouth. They worked it perfectly, but it just didn't quite connect. Here come the Bob Whites across the blue line. Nice move, right in front shot, and another save by Hayes, and a beautiful chance for Brian Verville. Hayes got it just enough so it kissed the crossbar on the way out. Here comes Post, flipping it in the zone, taken away from him. Richard Ross back out to center ice. Here comes Villeneuve, across the blue line. His drive, gloved by Hayes.
I'll tell you, Todd Hayes is really putting on a sterling performance here in this first period. He's the guy that's kept the Raiders in this ball game, and that was the end of the period right there. But was an impressive first period by Todd Hayes and by the Bellows Falls Academy Bob Whites.
Boy, they're a good hockey team. They're big, they're physical, they can skate, and they know what to do with the puck.
Yes, well coached club. But again, we'll see how the Raiders come out in the second period. They just got off the. They just got off okay, we got the official stats here. All right.
Just got off the bus.
Well, yeah, just got off the bus. Well, you got me in a train of thought here. Todd Hayes had 12 saves in that first period, and Scott Marcia for the Bellows Falls only had 3. That should be an indication of territorial play in that first period.
Just 3 penalties in the period. Todd Manning for Massena for hooking at 2:11. It was Jeff Moulton, the BFA, for, what was that? Hit from behind at 4:26, and then Lance Gilbert at 14:27 for roughing. And Massena will still have quite a bit of time in that power play when we start period number 2. So again, no score on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard after a period, but Massena kind of holding on right now, just barely.
Yes, again, we'll see how they have to adjust this first period. Tough getting off that bus, a long trip, a hazardous trip. The weather was atrocious, as we said. The road's very slippery, and when you're packed on a school bus with 25 people and all the gear, it's pretty confining for that length of time. And they didn't have much time. They got in, changed. They had came out and warmed up for about 10, 15 minutes, and that's it. So
that's right.
We can expect them to be a little a half step slow this first period.
Our broadcast brought to you this evening by Reynolds Metals, St. Lawrence Reduction Plant, working together. Their quality shines through. Also by the A-Plus Mini Market, downtown Massena. A-Plus, a franchise of the Atlantic Refining and Marketing Corporation. By Homestead Massena before. In fact, broadcast games that he played in. He was very good.
So we've got, as you mentioned, 1:17. The Raiders will be on the power play to start this second period. Nothing.
It's going to be Jake Morris out there with Cameron and Bigelow. Labarge and Post at the points out to take the face off. Villeneuve. And let's see here. Who else will be out there? Steve Young will be out there along with Ross. And we'll pick up the other killer. That's going to be Brian Verville. Off the face-off, Bigelow flips it just inside the zone. Morris trying to stay with it. Has it taken away. And back down the ice, Villeneuve sends it ahead for Verville. In the corner now, Massena zone. Morris comes in, kicks it away. And it comes right back to him off the boards. Here comes Jake, breaking out of the zone, building up the head of steam, takes it in the corner. Now he looks to drop it back, gets knocked down, but Bigelow comes in to pick up the puck and flip it back to the point, but it goes out to center ice as Post couldn't catch up with it. Now the foot race, and Verville gets there, and there's going to be a penalty as Post got him on the way by, and that'll nullify what power play is left and give the Bob Whites one in a little while.
No question on that call. The puck came back. Raiders had it in the BFA zone. They dropped it back to the point a little wide, and it came out, and there was a race for the puck. Tommy Post had a couple of strides on Villeneuve, but he's a speedster, Brian Villeneuve, and he kind of put it in second gear, and Tommy kind of upended him to prevent him from getting a breakaway. So that will nullify the Raider power play that had 40 seconds left.
That'll even things up for 40, and then a minute 20 of power play for BFA. Off the face-off, Cameron can't get it out. Puck dumped into the corner by DeLorme, the defenseman. Barkley goes after it. He jams for it. And the puck still sits along the boards. Trying to poke a stick in there is Fadden. Cameron's in there. Where's the puck? It finally kicks free. Jason Jackson goes back for it. Jackson has it poked away. Centering pass right in front. They score! And the goal is going to go, I believe, to L.A. Ross on the assist by Rick Fadden. And that's an even goal, 4-on-4. BFA picks up the first goal of the game at a minute of the period.
But Fadden did all the work. In fact, he occupied 3 Massena, both defensemen and Jason Jackson, and he took it away from all 3 of them behind the Raider net. He just shoveled it out in front, and as you mentioned, his partner came down the slot and one-timed it from about 15 feet out, and Todd Hayes had no chance at all. A low shot along the ice to the glove side, but Rick Fadden did all the work on that. Dug it out of the corner and shoveled it out. No one picked up his line mate. That was, who got the goal, Jerry? What number?
It was L.A. Ross.
Ross picked up the goal, okay.
From Rick Fadden. And so it's 1-0 for the Bob Whites, and they're going to go on the power play here shortly. Puck in the corner now. Steve Moulton after it. Trying to flip it back to the blue line. Kicks into the slot. Slips free in front. The backhander makes the save. Hayes. Puck comes free again. After it is Moulton again. Moulton back on the 45. Villeneuve, his shots. Hayes makes the save. Rebound goes in the corner. Now Labarge jams for it. Fauché comes in to help out. He gets tied up, goes back to the point. Here's a drive from the point, knocked down by a sprawling McCracken as he blocked it again. Puck goes right across the goal mouth, bounces high in the air into the corner. Levac throws a check. The puck kicks free to Villeneuve. Villeneuve now trying to take it on the 45. Levac takes him out of the play, but the puck comes to Knowlton behind the net. Power play right in front. They jam at it. Comes all the way back to the point. Here's Lanphier trying to slide it through. Villeneuve going after it in the corner. Flips it in behind the net. Levac has it poked away by Moulton. Moulton slips it on the other side. Back to the point. Lanphier shot. Save made. And Hayes, does he cover it up? I guess he did because the whistle blows.
Yes, he did. Todd had it. Through traffic, great save. Aggressive power play by this BFA club. And what they do, they'll drop the strong side defenseman right down in the fray. They've already got one-man advantage on you on the power play. They'll drop that second guy right down to the dot. So they put all kinds of pressure, and they move that puck around exceptionally well.
Boy, they sure do. They look very good out there. Good stick handlers.
That line of Verville, Villeneuve, and Moulton, that's a class act.
Okay, we've got Silas Gilbert's line out there. Morris and Bigelow come out to try to kill the penalty. We've got 36 seconds left in the penalty. Here comes Barkley trying to flip it back. Gets it right back again. Can't find it. It comes to Gilmore in behind the net now. Massena zone. Gilmore goes back to the point, but it goes by everybody as Steve Young had started to move the other way. And it goes all the way back in the Bob White zone with 20 seconds left in the power play. 12:42 left in period number 2. And on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard, it reads Massena 0 and BFA 1. Poked away now. Here comes Jake Morris stealing the puck, takes it in front, and he's penalized. He's going to get to haul down, and the whistle blows. And we're going to have a slashing call as Morris made a dandy move right at the blue line, and the BFA player really had no choice.
That's exactly right. Steve Young had the puck stripped. Jake poke checked him, danced by him, and was in the process of cutting in on that right side, and Steve Young just hacked him from the angle and took him down, and he's going to go to the box.
3 seconds left in the Massena penalty, so now the Raiders will go back on the power play.
That would come into the category of a good penalty
yes.
Because
probably
Jake was
saved the goal. Okay, Jason Jackson will be out there, and Aaron Barkley moves up to play the right wing on this power play combination. Now, wait a minute. Fauché will take the face-off, and Jackson steps back to the point. Off the draw, the face-off won by BFA. It comes to Randy Yates, tacks it around the boards, but McCracken stepped in front of it. Yates flips it the other way. Barkley gets knocked down, but it comes to Fauché. Fauché back to Levac at the point. Levac winds up his shot. Glove save. I'm not sure if that was on, but anyway, goaltender Marcia is going to hold on for the face-off.
And goaltender Marcia showed us one thing. He's got a quick glove, regardless if it was on or not, Jerry. That was a quick left hand out there, but he hasn't been tested too often. We've got 12:10 left in the second period, and Bellows falls up 1-0.
Villeneuve and Verville will be out there to kill. Fauché, McCracken, and Aaron Barkley. Off the face-off, puck comes in behind the net now. And it's batted around the boards, kept in by Jackson, who's playing the point for Massena. Jackson flips it in behind the net. Picked up by the defenseman, Lanphier. Lanphier being bothered by Barkley, skates it over to the other side, bounces it, doesn't get it out. Comes back. Here's Levac at the point, flipping to Fauché at the 45. Back to Levac. He fakes the shot, winds up, goes back to Fauché. 45. Here's Fauché. Give and go. Barkley back to Fauché. It comes back to Barkley off a stick. We have a whistle and a man in the crease. That's McCracken. They're going to move the face-off outside the zone.
Scotty McCracken was having a set to with number 17, Lance Gilbert, a big defenseman, and Scotty was holding his ground, trying to maintain position in front of Steve Marcia, and Lance Gilbert was doing his best to move him out of there, and Scotty had stepped into the crease. So the face-off outside the BFA blue line.
Going to be Fadden out there now to try to kill it off along with Moulton, and now Bigelow, Morris, and Cameron come out. And we're going to have Post and Labarge. 1-0. Bob White's lead it off the face-off. The puck comes back to the Massena blue line. Labarge picks it up. Being forechecked there. Takes it in behind the net. That's Rick Fadden. Drops it. Fadden steals it away. Post has to poke check. It goes back to the point and into the corner. Post again. Massena a little sloppy in their own end now. Post will go around to Labarge on the other side. Labarge loses it in his equipment, being forechecked by Fadden. Puck comes free, and Cameron kicks it, and it's going to come right in on the goalie. Now it's fed ahead by Hayes out to center ice, dumped to the blue line, and we're down to 40 seconds left in the power play. Morris gets a piece of it, knocks it down, and Hayes has to make a save on the shot by Moulton. Now Cameron with it. Cameron's going to drop it to Post. It goes by him. Post, bounce pass, gets it out to center ice. Back in the zone to lay offside. Post has it poked away, gets it back, finally gets it to Morris. Now we got a 3-on-2. Massena breaks the other way. Bigelow breaks by the defense. Shot. Nice save. Rebound. Up over the net. And there's a man in the net. It's off its moorings. The whistle blows. Massena with a great chance right there. That's the trouble when you're killing penalties as aggressively as BFA did. They got caught up ice, but Massena unable to convert.
Exactly right. And Jake Morris spotted Jeff Bigelow breaking down that right side, laid it right on his stick, and Jeff in around that defenseman. The defenseman clutched him a little bit, but Jeff got the shot away. Marcia made the great save. Jake Morris had the rebound, wide open net, and he threw it over the top.
Face-off right side of Marcia. Massena on the power play for 11 more seconds. BFA leading on the Pete Schuler scoreboard 1-0. Here's Morris, gets knocked down. Here come the Bob Whites back the other way as Lanfear drives it. Save made by Hayes. It comes all the way back, but Massena can't get it out of the zone. Now Cameron gets upended, and the puck slides along the boards, and finally it's Labarge picking it up, has it poked away from him. Moulton trying to feed it through the middle. The puck sits in the slot, and finally Tommy Post kicks it into the corner. Here's Post behind the net to Bigelow. Bigelow whacks at it. He gets knocked down, trying to slide it ahead. And the puck sits in the corner. And Morris finally comes back to pick it up as it slides around the boards the other way. We have a whistle. And we're going to have a hooking call against Bigelow, I believe.
No question, and that's a good call, and our old Craig Murray made that call from out here on the far side. The other official was right in front of the play, and he neglected to let it go, but there's no question Jeff Bigelow really raked the BFA player and right around the neck and just lifted him right off his feet. Good call by Craig Murray.
So Bigelow gets the gate for hooking. Boy.
God, this is a good hockey club that the Raiders have their hands full tonight. A good, fast, hard-hitting hockey team.
Villeneuve will take the face-off on the power play. Fauché out there with McCracken to try to kill it. It comes to Barkley in behind the net. He gets tied up, gets a stick on it, though, comes around the boards to Dale Villeneuve. Villeneuve moves it back to the point around the horn. Lanfear right out front, feeding it on the 45. And back to the point. Here's the drive. Bouncing puck goes in the corner. Now it's picked up again by Dale Villeneuve. Villeneuve takes it to the slot, goes back to the point. Here's Lanfear, slides one, bounces into the slot. They jam, it goes into the corner. And Levac tries to move it out, has it poked away, comes in behind the net, will come around on the other side for Barkley. Barkley taken out of the play, the puck along the boards. Here's the drive, Villeneuve knocked down in front. Where's the puck sitting in front? And Hayes is going to cover it up for the face-off. And Massena really having a problem clearing that zone.
Oh, and Todd Hayes, he's keeping Massena in this hockey game. I don't know how many saves he's made this period, but 90% of them have been outstanding. And that power play is giving Massena problems. They keep one man back at the point, and they drop the two of them down to the top of the circle. So it's almost like a diamond that they're running, and that's causing havoc for Massena right now. They're going to have to make some adjustments on that.
Gilbert out there with Gilmore and Fadden. Massena comes out with Jake Morris and Jason Jackson as penalty killers. Jackson comes up with a puck and dumps it down the ice. And this may be the first time I've seen Jason Jackson kill a penalty all year, but of course Morris's normal partner, Bigelow's in the penalty box. 1:06 left in the penalty, and back the other way, here comes Young, the defenseman. He's going to shoot it from center ice. Hayes makes the save and gloves it. And we'll have a face-off inside Massena territory with 59 seconds left in the power play. And 6:50, or is that 8:56 remaining in the second period?
8:56. Not a bad crowd here tonight, Jerry. The stands are pretty much filled on our side. They have good fan support over here. One of the games against Essex Rice Academy last week, I think they had 1,200 fans at the game. So
wow.
That's
where did they put them?
Well, I don't know if it was played here or possibly it was at Rice.
Oh, okay. I don't think they could fit 1,200 in here. They've only got one side of bleachers, and they're not very high. Okay, on the power play, they go back to their first unit. Here's Young from the point, deflected just wide. Picked up, side of the net, and what do we got? A man in the crease?
No, we got Mr. Granite. He's going to get called, and he just planks himself in front, and Mr. Granite is 16, Jeff Gilmore. He is so big and so tough. He just planks himself in front of the Massena goaltenders, and he, with one hand, just flattens our defenseman, and the official got him. He's going to call him for interference or hitting from behind or whatever, but he's one mean customer. I can see why he's out there on that power play.
Okay, so that'll even things up, but 50 seconds, Massena will have a 1:10 power play if things remain the way they are right now. So Villeneuve stays out there. Jason Jackson will face it off, and we've got Cameron. He's trying to flip it ahead along the boards, poked back to the blue line, and dumped into the Massena zone. Racing for it there is Dale Villeneuve. Villeneuve and Barkley go together. Barkley rubs him into the boards, but Villeneuve stays with it, flips it, but Massena clears it. Jackson ahead to Chris Cameron. Cameron trying to make the shift. He's taken out of the play, but stays with it somehow. But finally, it's taken off his stick by Lance Gilbert as Cameron ahead of everybody else. And he had no help that time. Now BFA dumps it back to center ice. Here's Collins with it, trying to bounce it ahead. We have a whistle. And what's Jason Jackson, a little bit of a set to there with Lance Gilbert. But I'm not sure what they called that.
I'm not sure. Might have went up and touched somebody on the side.
Okay.
That official call on Jeff Gilmore's penalty is for cross-checking.
Okay.
They said he just kind of like swats, he swat a mosquito. That's all it seems to take. And we've got some pretty good-sized defensemen. He just literally picks them right up off the ground. Number 17, this Gilbert is quite a defenseman along with Lamphere. They really play the man well.
They sure do. Off the face-off, the puck dumped back in the Massena zone. After it, Levac. He flips it along the boards for McCracken. Scotty with it in behind his own net. Starts out right side. Here comes McCracken leading the attack from Massena. McCracken building up the head of steam, takes it across by. Here's McCracken, has it poked away at the last second by Young, but stays with it in the corner. Here's McCracken now looking to center. Has it taken out of the play, the puck around the boards, and racing for it there is Ricky Fadden. Fadden starts out and dumps it down the ice as now BFA is killing a penalty. Puck in behind the net. Racing for it is Moulton. He gets there first. He beats a trio of Massena players, flips it ahead back to the blue line, and the puck dumped right back in behind the Massena net. And that's been the story. BFA has been beating Massena to the puck all night here. Here comes McCracken, feeding it for Bigelow. Bigelow just directs it in the zone. He gets tied up, but stays with it, gets knocked down. And the puck comes free, bouncing around. The Bob Whites clear it down the ice again. And racing for it is Levac. And boy, I'll tell you what, Moulton got there first, but Levac stays with it and comes away with the puck. Here's the headman pass, goes by everybody, all the way back in the Bob White zone. Scott DeLorme, the defenseman, racing for it. Jackson steps in front of his clearing pass, knocks it down, but the Bob Whites are going to clear it all the way down the ice again as they want to change. L.A. Ross getting it all the way down the ice. Here comes Tommy Post running into some forechecking. Circles, loses his forechecker and starts it out. Headman pass goes by Jackson, dumped right back in the Massena zone, and the penalty is up. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Still 1-0 Bob Whites on the Pete scoreboard. Here the Bob Whites trying to get the shot off, but following up is Jason Labarge, and he starts it out. Drops it ahead for Jackson, gets by him, back the other way. Here's Gilmore, flipping it in the zone. Post intercepts, trying to move it ahead for Cameron. Cameron drops it back to Post. Post around the boards for Jason Labarge. Labarge bounce pass back to Post, and Post moves it ahead. Cameron out to center ice. Intercepted, dumped back to the Massena line, but offsides will be the call as it caught a Bob White player in the zone. 6:13 left in the second period. The Bob Whites lead at 1-0 on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard.
That's what you have to do against a club that forechecks as quickly as this. You have to move the puck D to D that time, and quickly. D to D and then up the strong side because they're sending two guys right down, and you've got to move in a hurry.
Off the faceoff, Morris's line against the Zier line. Barkley dumps it in the Bob White zone, stopped behind the net, and picked up by the defenseman, who is Richard Ross. Ross gets offended, but the puck sits there, and Young picks it up, starts out the other side. He's being forechecked by Tommy Moore, circles behind the net, flips it around the boards. Barkley trying to step in front, but it's out to center ice. Here comes Ian Zier. He's going to shoot it from center ice. Hayes will glove it and hold on for the faceoff, and we'll have a faceoff in the Massena zone.
The thing I noticed, this club is very strong with their stick, and they do it legally, but they impede the opposition with the stick. They get it out there, kind of tuck it in under your armpit, and you come across in front of that crease. They fend you off with the stick. Very strong and excellent with the stick.
Broulette's line out there now, Brulette, Gravelin, and Ross, and it's going to be the Fauché line for Massena. Still 1-0 Bob Whites. Off the faceoff, puck sits in the circle, shot knocked down by Hayes, who's playing defense for Massena, tries to move it out, kept in at the point. Brulette with it, sends it to the slot, but picking it up is Whitcup. Bobby starts out left side. Here comes Whitcup, stick handling it, hitting McCracken at the blue line. He takes it in the zone. Sharp angle shot. Marcia has to make the save. Picks up the rebound. McCracken feeds Fauché right back to McCracken. Back to Fauché, high slot. Winds up the drive. Nice save. The rebound. Whitcup can't get the shot off. And that's the best chance Massena's had probably in a long time. Now here comes Gravelin. He loses it at the blue line, but he manages to stick it in the zone. Collins overskates it, has to come back after it, circles in the corner. Here's Collins, steps by, gets knocked down, and the puck comes free in front. Collins blocks that one. It goes into the corner. Collins just got tripped up that time, comes back after it again. Comes to Whitcup at the blue line. He starts it out. Headman for Fauché. Joey a little bit too far, dumped right back in the Massena zone. Stopped in behind the net now. Goes around the boards. Hard check thrown by Collins. They jam for it, and the puck goes into the corner, bouncing around. And finally, it's picked up free and back to the point. Here's the drive. Lanfear knocked down in front, didn't get through. McCracken trying to flip it ahead. He almost had Whitcup. Whitcup did get a stick on it, and he just dumps it in the zone as Massena wants to make a line change. That shift was out there for a long time. Now we've got Jackson's line. He gets upended. The puck comes into the Massena zone. Levac is there. Here's Tommy Post. Moving it down the line. It comes to Manning right through his legs into the zone. Bounce pass to the blue line. Circling back the other way. Here's Silas Gilbert trying to feed his wing. That'll be an icing call right there, as it went too far. And with 4:06 remaining to play in the second period, the scoreboard still reads 1-0 for BFA.
And the Raiders are starting to give BFA some of their own medicine. They're starting to throw some checks out there and slow them down a little bit. They hadn't been doing that up to this point.
I thought so. I was just going to say it's started to turn just a tad.
Yeah,
David.
They're starting to play the body a little bit, and as again, they're getting those legs adjusted, but some of their own medicine. You mentioned that last shift out there, that Raider line of Fauché, McCracken, and Bobby Whitcup. They had a good shift, and they also probably were, in my opinion, maybe Massena's best unit against St. Lawrence Central the other night. We're getting a goaltending change right now, Jerry.
That's right. It's going to be Kevin Thomas coming in to play the nets for BFA with 4:06 left in period number 2. So they just want to get both their goaltenders some action. We're going to see Dougie Cullen tomorrow night against Essex Junction. So both Massena goaltenders will get a chance to play as well. And
Todd Hayes hasn't seen much action this year, but he has been stellar here, and 4 minutes shy of 2 periods, and he's been outstanding. He's kept Massena in this ballgame, only down by 1-0. We've got 4:06 to play in the second period.
Well, Massena, if they can get going here, they've started to make some inroads. The last couple of shifts, they've started hitting a little bit and slowing BFA down. But I'll tell you what, the Bob Whites are a good hockey team. They're tough, they're strong, they hit hard. They do kind of remind me of Rome a little bit.
Yeah, excellent club, well schooled in the fundamentals, and if you've been a good skating club, he skates almost 3.5 lines. He's got that fourth line. They don't get a regular shift, but they've probably been out there 4 or 5 times in 2 periods. And 3 sets of defense. The defense really play the man well, play the body. Good club. And Steve Marcia, towards the end there, the Raiders got a couple of good shots off. Scotty McCracken tested him, and he's got a good, quick glove. So
the faceoff will be in the Bob White zone to the right side of goaltender Kevin Thomas. Off the faceoff, the puck comes to Levac. He tries to keep it in along the boards, pokes at it, jams at it. Cameron in there fighting, but it kicks free. Here comes Villeneuve, 2-on-1. Villeneuve breaking in. Here's the shot, and it's gloved by Hayes again.
Great save.
And now the puck in the corner. Apparently he decided to drop it, and Cameron brings it out to center ice. That kind of surprised everybody. Here comes Manning down along the boards, taken into those boards by Verville. Puck in the corner. Now racing for it is Cameron. Has it taken away by Lance Gilbert. Moves it up center ice. Here comes Verville. Verville this time moving it in with Moulton. He slides it right in, and Hayes sticks it into the corner. In behind the net post throws a check. Levac comes up with it. Kicks it free to Manning. Manning's headman right on the stick of Jason Jackson. Tries to slide it by, but getting a stick on it there is defenseman Lanfear. Flips back in the Massena zone. Now the bounce pass goes all the way down the ice, and that's going to be an icing call against Massena. That was meant for Cameron, but icing will be the call as he couldn't quite catch it.
Todd Hayes just made an outstanding save. Dale Villeneuve and Brian Verville came down on a 2-on-1 on the Raider defenseman, and Captain Dale Verville used his line mate as a decoy, and he, from about 15 feet out, wristed one, headed for the top corner, and Todd Hayes just reached up with that left hand. Great save.
Made some great saves tonight. We've got Silas Gilbert's line out against the Jake Morris line. Off the faceoff, puck sits in the circle, comes back high slot, poked back to the point, kept in by Young. He dumps it in the corner. Back there to pick it up. is LaBarge. Flips it around to Tommy Moore, left wing side. Moore runs into some traffic, has to go back around the other side to LaBarge. LaBarge starts out right side and moves ahead to Jake Morris. Morris has got Moore. Drops it to Bigelow across the blue line. Bigelow back to Moore in the slot. Can't get the shot off. It comes in behind the net. Now Bigelow digging for it there along with the defenseman. Bigelow stays with it, trying to center it, but it comes free in front. And it's Gilmore moving it back out to center ice. Morris steals it off his stick. Here comes Jake back across the blue line. Stick handles. Oh, dandy move. Jake Morris shot. Score! It's 1-1.
What a move by Jake Morris. He just undressed Richard Ross. Jake picked a puck up at the neutral zone. Ross backed off the blue line, allowed Jake to gain the zone. He went in, he gave him an outside move, gave him an inside move, took it to his backhand on the outside, and before Richard Ross could even blink, he was around him, right in on Kevin Thomas, and he just flared one right up in the top corner. A great move by Jake Morris.
So Morris gets the Massena goal, and Jeff Bigelow, I would assume, will pick up the assist, and Massena ties this hockey game, and who knows, David, maybe the tide has started to turn a little bit.
I'll tell you, that Richard Ross is no slouch, but Jake just simply undressed him.
Okay, it's 1-1 tie game now. Here comes Joey Fauché back the other way from Massena, flips it in the zone, in behind the net now, racing for it there is Yates. Yates has it poked away by Whitcup. Puck around the boards, and it's picked up by Gravelin. Gravelin tries to move it. He gets it out to center ice. They spring a man free in front, but a big sprawling poke check by Todd Collins. Here's the shot from the point, the save. Collins again blocks it, and he flips it ahead. And Collins just made an unbelievable save. Here comes Whitcup on the pass, right in front. The Fauché shot. He fires it wide. Puck comes in behind the nets. Now the puck bounced off McCracken, stays in the corner, bounces to the side of the net. Finally, it's picked up there by Yates. Yates being forechecked by Fauché as this third line continues to apply all kinds of pressure. Now Whitcup trying to throw a check in the corner, overskates it, and finally it's going to be iced by the Bob Whites. And no, they waved the icing off. There's no penalty. I don't know why that happened. But anyway, here comes Massena's Levac. Headman to Collins. He has it poked away. Here's a shot. Hayes makes the save, and back the other way comes Jason Jackson. Big save for Hayes. Here comes Jackson. Stick handles in the zone. Jackson in the corner makes the turn, looking for somebody to pass to as Massena in the middle of a line change. Jackson pokes it away, but it comes free to Moulton. Moulton moves it out to center ice. Here comes Burville. Burville in on the right wing side for the Bob Whites. Going by Barkley. Barkley tries to sweep. Burville in behind, looking to wrap it in front. But, oh, my goodness, good play by Barkley. Stays with it, flips it ahead for Manning. Manning coming down 2-on-1. Here comes Manning, the shot, and it's blocked by the defenseman. And back the other way comes Villeneuve, trying to spring his man. Moulton free. He's going to stay with it instead. Here comes Villeneuve. Drop pass to Moulton. Moulton's shot. Knocked down, goes into the corner. Jackson for Massena. Jackson lifts it. Does he get it out? No, it's kept in nicely by the defenseman. The shot. Fired it high and wide. And the puck goes to the side of the net, right in front. Shot fired wide again. And that time it was Villeneuve firing it wide. Puck stolen away. Here comes Moulton. He can't control it. Goes back to the point. Kept in nicely at the point by defenseman Lamphere. He tries to flip it in front, but Manning's going to step in front of it and move it out to center ice. Headman pass goes to Jackson. Jackson's pass meant for Cameron, but it's in the corner. Racing after it is Lamphere. He dumps it down the ice. That's got to be an icing call. And it is. And we are down to 4 seconds left in the second period. We're all tied at 1, and the tide has turned just a little bit.
Jerry, they've thrown the big D defense out the window, both teams. It's up and down. First, Massena coming down, and they've had probably 3 2-on-1s in the last 3 minutes because BFA, they're diving everybody. The strong side defenseman's getting caught up in the action. First one team 2-on-1, then the other team 2-on-1. Both goaltenders, and Todd Hayes has made some great saves out here.
Well, you'd think that both teams were behind by a goal with a minute to play.
I know it. Todd Collins made a great defensive play out here not till his last shift to prevent a 2-on-1. Great scoring opportunity for BFA, but it's really exciting hockey.
Okay, the face-off will be in the zone. Back to the point. LaBarge, the drive, bounces high over the net, and the buzzer will sound as the second period will end. So Jake Morris did his job. He won the face-off, but the shot by LaBarge was a good one. It was blocked, though, higher over the net.
It was a great draw, Jake Morris, and they had Jason LaBarge in the slot. He on up, Jerry, and went up over the top of the net. But I'll tell you, the Raiders are back in this hockey game.
Well, the official, Greg Murray, getting an earful from Stan Moore. He's probably heard it before.
Well, I don't know. Again, in defense of Greg, I think Stan's talking to Greg's partner over there. Again, he's not set to Delorme trying to move Chris out of there, and Chris doing his best to prevent being moved out. And the official finally whistled them both. And after the whistle, Chris kind of got a little extra push in there, and I'm not sure if the official is going to hold that against him or not. But
what do they call that? Extracurricular?
Extracurricular shove, and we'll find out in a second if he's going to.
Yeah, he
up.
does.
Oh boy, that is a borderline call. That was a boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't want to say it, so I won't say it. I'll think it.
That wasn't Greg Murray, by the way.
No, it wasn't Greg. But oh boy. So Chris Cameron is going to pick up the double minor.
So that'll give BFA a power play here in a moment.
Boy, oh boy, that was just there's nothing to that.
Just a little shove is what it was.
Yeah, basically, and assistant coach Tim Long is saying, Mr. Official, come here a second, could you explain that to me? And it is hard to explain. He had them both. They were pushing each other, and both deserved the call, and he whistled it. And just after the whistle, Chris Cameron just gave him an extra little shove, nothing to it, and he exercised his authority, I guess, and we have a slight delay here, and they're checking something with the clock. They're not quite sure. Assistant coach Tim Long is doing the discussing with the official. Keeps pointing back to our left to behind Todd Hayes to the clock. I don't know. They
had to straighten out that first penalty. Still had a minute to go, and when they did these penalties, they took the minute off the clock.
Okay.
But Massena will remain on the power play 4-on-3 for a minute. And then it'll be 4-on-4 for another minute, and then 2 minutes of power play for BFA. Okay, face-off will be in the BFA zone. Fauché out there to draw against Villeneuve. Off the face-off, right back to Levac at the point. Levac skates it right across the blue line, goes to Fauché, 45, right back to Levac, back to Fauché. Fauché, cross-ice pass in front, Jason Jackson, he fired it high and wide. Comes back to Fauché at the 45. Joey back to Levac at the point. Levac goes to Jackson. Jackson, stick handles, Fauché right in front. Joey, the shot, save made. The rebound is underneath. It goes in the net. No goal.
Oh. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
And that was Greg Murray.
Evidently, he had blown the whistle. He lost sight of the puck, and goaltender Kevin Thomas didn't have it. It trickled in behind him and crossed the goal line. The red light went on, but the official had blown the call, not in the sense that he had blown the whistle, not blowing the call. He lost sight of it, and that's what you have to do when you lose sight of it. But from our angle here, we could see that it was laying in behind him.
The Massena crowd thinks he blew the call. Needless to say. So it remains a 1-1 tie game with 13:40 remaining in the third period. Jake Morris steps out now to face off against Brian Verville. Off the face-off, the puck comes to Jackson, goes to Post, and Post takes it in on the right side. Tommy Post now drops it for Morris, poked away, back out to center ice. 27 seconds left in the Massena power play as Jackson comes back to pick it up. Jackson drops it for Post. Post with it, being forechecked, has to circle back to his own blue line. Bounces it free to Bigelow. Bigelow poked away, but Post is there to follow and take it in the zone. Here's Post right at the corner. Trying to slide it through, has it knocked away, stays with it. Drop pass, intercepted, and bounced back by Brian Verville all the way down the ice. And that'll take care of the penalty. We're even skating now, 4-on-4 for a minute. Here comes the headman, goes by everybody. Jackson trying to come up with it, he couldn't, back in the zone. Here comes Rick Fadden, slides it into the Massena zone. Tommy Post is there. Bounce pass up to center ice. Stopped there by Kyle Landfear. Landfear takes it in the corner. Bigelow knocks him down and gets the puck back from Post. Puck slides free in front, but Bigelow is there to start it out. Headman pass, Jackson. Jason breaks in on the right wing side. Here's Jason Jackson in the corner. He and Landfear go together, and the puck tied up in behind the net. Coming in to help out as well is Lance Gilbert, and Gilbert skates away with it. Flips it ahead on the wing. It comes to Moulton. Moulton starts it down. Moulton out there with Fadden, but steals Jake Morris. Morris trying to bounce it ahead. Knocked down. It comes right back to Morris. Jake comes back to pick it up. 10 seconds left as the penalty is just about up to BFA, and they'll go on the power play. Back down the ice. Here comes Gilbert, dumping it in the Massena zone. Hayes stops it behind the net. Flips it around the boards. Jason Jackson can't catch up with it, and Gilbert dumps it in behind. Right in front, here's Villeneuve, and he can't get the shot off. It goes wide. Puck in the corner now, picked up by Verville. Verville gets by the check, but Post comes up with it, gets it ahead to Bigelow, and Bigelow breaks it out to center ice. Here comes Jeff Bigelow picking up the loose puck. He's got Fauché with him, trying to break by the defense. Bigelow right in front. We're going to have a penalty. And Jeff Bigelow, a yeoman's job of killing off the power play. And, in fact, he almost broke in on the defense. And because of that, a penalty, and that'll even things up again.
And what created the penalty, Jeff broke in, but also Joey Fauché went to the net, as you should. The free man goes to the net. And the weak side VFA defenseman had no choice but to just haul him down. He just raked the feet right out from under him, and the official right there on the call.
So that'll even things up again for the next minute 33, and then Massena will go on a short power play. But again, we want to remind folks, if these power plays seem like a long time, they are, because they're 2-minute power plays. WMSA, Massena, New York. Fauché will face off against McCracken. Or Fauché and McCracken out there will face off, and McCracken has it and backhands it in the zone. Taking the face-off was Dale Villeneuve for BFA. Back to the point now. Here's Levac. His drive bounces right on, the save made, and Kevin Thomas is going to hold on. Thomas is probably saying, why did I have to play the second half of the game? He's had more action, I think, in about 5 minutes, and Marcia had the whole rest of the game.
But just as we suspected, after about a period and a half, when the Raiders got their legs, they've been put them right back into this game. They're not that half step slow anymore.
1-1 tie game on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Face-off, BFA zone to the right side of goaltender Thomas. Villeneuve will face off against Fauché, and I think he's going to toss Joey out of the circle. He does. And McCracken will step in. Off the face, McCracken wins it, flips it in behind the net, but back there to pick it up to Scott Delorme. Delorme trying to clear it. Fauché steps in front, takes it into the corner. Here's Joey with it, in behind the net. He stick handles, gets knocked down, and the puck comes to Villeneuve. Villeneuve starts back the other way. Fauché trying to check him. Villeneuve dumps it deep in the Massena zone. That's going to be an icing call, I believe. Yeah, he did not wait long enough, and he's called for icing, and that was
a close one. And, in fact, young Mr. Villeneuve is kind of shaking his head, saying, hey, what about that?
1:01 left in the Massena penalty, 1:28 in the BFA penalty, so we're still 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders. And Jake Morris comes out along with Bigelow, Collins, and Barkley.
Played a little less than 4 minutes here in the third period on a 1-1 hockey game.
Face off left side, off the draw, BFA, and breaking out of there. Here comes Rick Fadden down the left wing side. Collins trying to check him. He gets a shot off. I don't know if it was on or not, but Collins stopped it, or Hayes stopped it anyway. Now the puck in the corner. Post with it. He and Villeneuve, or that's Barkley and Villeneuve jam for it. It comes to Morris. Morris back after it in the corner. Step side of the net. Breaks it out. Here comes Jake, building up the head of steam. Morris shifts it right across the blue line. Can't catch up with it. Following it in. Bigelow, the shot. Score! Jeff Bigelow! And Massena goes ahead 2-1.
That play started back in the far end. Todd Collins, I don't know if he'll get an assist, but he's been getting a regular shift out there the last two periods and doing an excellent job. And he freed up the puck in the Massena end, and Jake Morris went end to end, put a good move on, got the shot off, and Steve Thomas made the save, and Jeff Bigelow, the big right wing on that line, picked up the rebound and backhanded one along the ice on the stick side by Kevin Thomas, and the Raiders take the lead 2-1.
So Bigelow gets the goal, the captain, and Massena takes a 2-1 lead, and that's a big goal for the Raiders as they have come from behind now, and they have taken the lead here with 10:33, but that's a lot of time left.
But again, that started down on that end, and I don't know if he'll get an assist to Todd Collins, but he made a great play on it.
Here's Levac getting it out to center ice. It's intercepted, flipped along the blue line, and it comes to LaBarge. That was a 4-on-4 goal as the puck dumped down the ice by Massena. They're going to call that icing. No, they waved it off. It's a good thing because the defenseman, Gilbert, could have gotten there. Now he flips it into the boards. Jackson picks it up in the corner, looking to center it, but it's knocked away, and back comes Silas Gilbert. Gilbert flips it ahead into the zone. Here comes Verville. Levac takes him into the corner. Gilbert trying to follow it. The puck tied up along the puck boards. They jam for it. It's kicked free. Here comes Chris Cameron. Flipping it ahead for Todd Manning. Manning across the blue line, 3-on-2, trying to go through to LaBarge, but LaBarge couldn't catch it, but it's kept in at the point. Now LaBarge and Manning dig for it in the corner. Back there, though, is Silas Gilbert to flip it around the boards. Cameron steps in front, knocks it down, but Gilbert picks it up again. Trying to step by a check, Jason Jackson steps in front, flips it for Cameron. Cameron gets tied up there by Gilbert, Lance Gilbert, and the puck still free in the corner as they dig for it, bouncing around. Nobody can get it free. Finally, Jason Jackson comes to the side of the net, gets a weak shot off, goes wide. Cameron digging it. Here's Cameron looking to go back to the point. It comes to Jason about halfway through. Jackson stick handles in the corner. Massena on the power play, but now the penalty is up. Right in front it comes, deflected, knocked right down, and the save made by goaltender Kevin Thomas. And this time BFA is going to dump it down the ice. They wave the icing off as well as Levac comes up with it. Circles in his own end. Here's Brian Levac, bounce pass off the boards, knocked down. Here comes Whitcup looking to steal the puck in front. Has it swept away nicely by defenseman Richard Ross. Whitcup in the corner along with Ross. Whitcup trying to get a stick on it. He stays with it, shovels it in front. Here comes to Fauché. His shot knocked down. Goes into the corner. Here's Whitcup with it. Whitcup steps by a check now, but he gets tied up and hauled down. And breaking out of there is Boulette. Now Fauché intercepts his pass and dumps it in the zone to lay off sides, but coming back for it is Steve Young. Here's Young with it. McCracken checks him, but Young stays with it. Flips it on the 45. Kept in by Post. His shot goes back in behind the net. That time McCracken got railed in front of the net. And finally, BFA is going to dump it to center ice to take off the pressure. Here's Barkley going to Post. Post back to Barkley in his own end. Headman pass goes to Whitcup. Whitcup, Fauché across the blue line. The drive. He fires it wide. The rebound comes to McCracken on the left side. McCracken back to Post at the point. His shot right on the save made. They jam. And Whitcup got pushed right into the goaltender, but nothing's going to come of that. And we'll have a face-off. And Massena all of a sudden has come alive, David.
Well, 180-degree turn, I'll tell you. That line of Fauché, McCracken, and Bobby Whitcup, I like to call them the Bruise Brothers because they're not very big, but they cause some bruises out there. And they seem to have that natural chemistry. We said they were probably Massena's best line against the St. Lawrence Central the other night. Well, they really are performing here in this third period.
Boy, I guess so. They're looking very good. Okay, Jake Morris out there now to take the face-off, and we're going to see Broulette's line out for BFA.
And BFA, Jerry, has slowed to a walk, I'll tell you. Massena slowed them right down.
Off the face-off now. We're getting ready for the face-off. Here's the puck into the corner. After Bigelow. Bigelow jams for it along with DeLorme. Moves it to Morris along the boards. He runs into some traffic. Gets it back to Biggs. Biggs gets tied up. Goes down. And it's picked up in behind by Broulette. Here comes Broulette now moving it out. They're trying to. He finally slides it to center ice to the Massena line. Levac is there. Levac hits Morris on the headman. Here comes Morris looking for Tommy Moore. Goes behind him into the zone. Stopped there and picked behind the net by Randy Yates. Flipping it around the boards. Morris, he lost his edge, fell down, and Yates skates it out of there. Here's Randy Yates across the Massena blue line. Breaking in, gets a shot off. Hayes makes the save. Real sharp angle, didn't have much to shoot at. Here comes Lavarge. Headman pass goes by everybody down the ice. Are they going to wave off the icing? They do wave it off. All of a sudden, they don't want to call it anymore. Now the puck in the corner. They move it out of there. And it's stopped by Moore, but he can't hold it in. Broulette for BFA. Across the blue line, draws a crowd, flips it in front. Tommy Post clears it. Ahead, Bigelow. Here comes Bigelow with Moore and Jackson. Jeffrey Bigelow across the blue line, trying to slide it through. Here's Moore's shot. He gets knocked down. The puck bounces free in the corner, goes underneath Tommy. He tries to get back up again. In there to help out is Jason Jackson. Jackson jamming for it. They fight for it in the corner. Jackson can't come away with it. It slides along the boards. That's Jeff Gilmore. Gilmore and Jackson. Now Cameron steps in front, pops it in the air. Jason Jackson backhands it in the corner. Back after it is Kyle Lanphier. Lanphier flips it around the board, stolen away. Here's Manning right in front, trying to go to Cameron, back to the point. And Barkley's shot goes off Cameron, I believe. And Tommy Post flips it in behind the net. Cameron in the corner, digging for it. Looks to center. I think Chris is hurting. He took that shot off the leg. And finally, it's dumped out to center ice. Barkley pops it right back in the zone with 6 minutes left to play in the third period. Massena leading it 2-1 on the Corky scoreboard. Post now into the corner, trying to keep it in the zone. Jackson at the point, steps by the defense, flips it in the corner. Racing back after it is Lance Gilbert. Gilbert loses it to Jackson, then he gets it back again, starts it out, and this time BFA is going to ice the puck, and down the ice it goes. The whistle blows, and the faceoff will move back in the BFA zone, and This is like the first period the other way around.
Exactly right. The Raiders got their forechecking game going. They've got the legs back. They've made the transition. As we said, a complete turnaround. They're really taking it to BFA right now, and they're running around disorganized in their own end. That last series out there, Massena just had them hemmed right in, and no way that BFA could get out of their zone without icing it.
Faucher's line out there for Massena. Faucher takes the face-off. Back to the point. That's Labarge trying to flip it through. It's intercepted and dumped out to center ice. Right there is Labac flipping it back to the line. Picked up there by Steve Young. Bounces it to the Massena line, and in the zone it goes. Back to pick it up. Labac flips around for McCracken. Scotty to Faucher. Joey starts it out. Here comes Faucher breaking down the left wing side. He's just going to flip it in the Bob White zone. Comes to the side of the net, and racing for it was Whitcup. Couldn't get a stick on it, and back the other way comes Silas Gilbert. Long headman pass. Hits his winger, Ricky Fadden. Fadden breaks in left wing side. Sharp angle shot. Just missed the corner, and I mean just. Now the puck back to the blue line. McCracken. Here comes Scotty with it, breaking down the left wing side. Makes the shift at the blue line. Feeds it to Faucher a little bit too far. Joey takes it in the corner. Whitcup in there to help out. Faucher and Whitcup. Whitcup trying to kick it around to the other side, and it comes free. And back out to center ice. It went actually into the BFA bench, and a whistle blows. And we're down to 4:45 left in the third period on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Massena leads at 2-1.
I'll tell you, that line of Joey Faucher, Scotty McCracken, and Bobby Whitcup, they're playing like they're possessed out there. When they're on the ice, they're completely dominating BFA. And Scotty McCracken he turned two BFA defensemen inside out in that last shift.
Off the faceoff, we got the Jake Morris line out there against the Villeneuve line. Here comes Verville. His pass intercepted right back out to center ice, dumped back in the zone as the BFA is going to clear the zone. It comes to Aaron Barkley. Barkley trying to flip it along the blue line. He gets it to Tommy Moore. Headman pass stolen at the blue line. Here's the shot. Score! I think that's going to be Kyle Lanfear getting the goal. And that one just kissed the crossbar and went in the net. And that, you couldn't have had a better shot than that.
The Raiders were clearing the zone, and what happens in this, with 4:22, the BFA Bobcats decided to gamble, and number 21, Kyle Lanfear, stayed on the line. The pass came from the left side, probably no more than 15 feet from inside the blue line, and Massena left wing tried to clear it up the middle. Lanfear stepped up, intercepted the pass, and unleashed to about a 45-footer that just in out of the crossbar. Great shot.
Off the face-off, Jake Morris with it from Massena. Here comes Morris. Dipsy-doodling across the blue line. Stops. Goes across. Barkley winds. His shot. Save made. The puck sitting side of the net. After it is Morris. Flips it in behind for Tommy Moore. Moore after it. Looking to circle. Here's Moore. Backhander right across the goal mouth. Morris couldn't get a stick on it. It comes to Bigelow. Biggs going to Moore. Moore in the corner. Back to the point. Intercepted. And it's dumped down the ice. But it's not going to go far enough for icing. Back after it is Tommy Post. Post stops behind the net with 3:43 remaining in the third period. Tied at 2. Here's Post with it. Post long headman pass. Gets to Tommy Moore. Moore steps across the blue line looking for Jackson. Jackson into the corner. Jason has it poked away, back out to center ice. In fact, it goes by everybody down inside the Massena zone. Both teams making changes here. Here's the headman, goes to Manning. Manning loses it. Richard Ross trying to move it ahead, but Todd Collins stays with it, follows it. Now it's taken off his stick, back to the Massena line. Manning. Here comes Manning back the other way, takes it in the zone. Manning stick handles into the corner, looking for somebody to pass to. He's ridden off the play. The puck bounces back to the blue line. Levac winds up the shot, deflected in front, and Villeneuve picks it up. Here's Villeneuve waiting for the return pass. Goes to the Massena blue line. Levac is there. Villeneuve and Levac. Villeneuve takes it away, trying to get the shot off, and the save made. A weak shot, and the save made by Todd Hayes. Now Massena's Jason Jackson doesn't get it out of there. It comes free in front, this time to Verville, but it's taken away. Now Cameron with it. He loses it. Back to the point it comes. Here's the drive from the point. That's wide. And Manning races for it, but Young's going to keep it in. He flips it into the corner. Here's Levac with it. Stops, side of the net. Now starts out. Headman right on the stick of Manning. Todd just pokes it in the zone as he wants off. Puck in behind the net now. Massena getting that third line out there again. The Faucher line has been so effective tonight. They dump it right back in. The save made by goaltender. That's Thomas. He loses in front. McCracken, the shot. Save. A big save. The rebound kept out of there by the defenseman. And what a play. Now the puck bounces just wide. No, it's in the net. I guess it's no goal, though, because they have blown the whistle.
Oh, I couldn't hear the whistle from up here, but it is no goal. Oh, my goodness. Scotty McCracken had a glorious opportunity. Joey Foch had a glorious opportunity, and Bobby Whitcomb. They had Kevin Thomas down, and they couldn't get the puck up over the top of him.
Lance Gilbert, the defenseman, made a great save.
Yes, I don't know how that thing stayed out. I couldn't hear the whistle with the crowd yelling, but the Raiders are not questioning it. They're just kind of shaking their head a little bit. I'll tell you, we talked, since he's been taking a regular shift, Todd Collins has added a little extra zip to that defense tonight, an added stimulant, and they've really played well since he's taken a regular shift out there.
I think we're going to have a timeout here, and I think BFA called it. 2 minutes even left in the third period, and we're tied at 2. And boy, I'll tell you, this has been a good hockey game. It really has.
Outstanding, very enjoyable hockey game to watch. We've had a complete turnaround. First period dominated, maybe the first period and a half dominated by BFA, and the second half of that second period kind of even. This third period, I'd give a wide margin to the Raiders. And since they, late in that second period, they started laying some body on BFA, and I don't know if that was a cause of it or just Massena gaining their legs, but the Raiders have taken the game to BFA here in this third period.
2-2 tie game on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. And deuces are wild. 2 minutes on the clock.
2 minutes, deuces wild. You're right, Jerry. And we should mention Todd Hayes for the period and a half, 23 saves, and they were outstanding. I don't know what Todd has up to this point, but when the Raiders were kind of wallowing in the mud, so to speak, they couldn't get their legs going, he's the guy that held them in there. And this is what you need that goaltender for. We saw that the other night against the Massena St. Lawrence Central game. Young Nick Lefebvre came up really big, and it means so much to your club. You just can pick a whole team up by their bootstraps when that goalie makes those big saves.
Okay, we got Morris's line out there against Villeneuve's line. Face off left side in the BFA zone. Off the draw, the puck into the slot. They're going to break it out of there. Here comes Brian Verville, 2-on-2, has it knocked away. Puck sits in the slot, but is picked up by Labarge. He circles in behind his own net. Trying to headman it out to center ice. Intercepted there on the defense and back to the Massena line. It comes to Levac. 2-2 tie game. Levac headman, knocked away. It comes to Verville. He takes it across, offsides will be the call.
Again, I can't, from our vantage point up here, and possibly the headset, the crowd yelling, I have trouble hearing the whistle, Jerry.
Well, I'll tell you, it's hard to see the blue line, too, because it's not very blue. Okay, Morris will face off just outside the Massena zone. 1:36 left in the third period. We're tied at 2. Massena BFA. Villeneuve and Morris will draw. Off the face-off. And the puck comes to the defenseman, Richard Ross, who flips it in behind the Massena net. In the corner, Levac goes after it. It comes free to Tommy Moore. Moore flips it in behind. They jam. It's Moulton after. Now Jake Morris moves it on the wing to Moore. Moore starts it out. Long right wing pass goes to Bigelow. Biggs takes it across. Trying to slide it through. Tommy Moore, the shot, the save, the rebound. And it's in behind the net. And I don't know what they blew the whistle for there. I guess he lost sight of it.
Great three-way passing play by the Raider line that time. Tommy Moore, long pass to Jeff Bigelow, and Biggs broke down that right side, crossed the blue line, cut into the middle, and feathered a little pass over for Jake Morris. And Kevin Thomas made I won't say a great save, but a pressure save here.
That's right.
With a 1:12 left in this hockey game. 2-2.
Okay, we've got Jason Jackson's line against the Silas Gilbert line. Face off right side of goaltender Kevin Thomas. Off the draw. The puck comes to Cameron. Goes back to the point with it. Kept in. Here's the quick shot. And the save made by Thomas in behind. That shot taken by Jackson. Here's Cameron right in front. Score! Jackson on a beautiful pass from Cameron. Massena goes ahead at the 14-minute mark of the third period.
Chris Cameron made an outstanding play. The Raiders won the face-off. It went to the boards. Jason Jackson picked it up and fired a knuckleball at Kevin Thomas from about 45 feet out. Thomas made the save, kicked it behind the net. Chris Cameron streaked in behind the net, picked it up, swung out in front. did the half circle, looking all the time. He threw it right across the ice, probably 45 feet across to the far side, where Jason Jackson was standing all alone with no one around him, and he didn't make any mistake. He whipped it home, and the Raiders are up 3-2. Great play by Chris Cameron.
That sure was, and glad to say Chris's dad was able to make the trip up from New York, and he saw that. He saw his son make one heck of a play.
That's an outstanding play, and Jason Jackson didn't make any mistakes, huh?
Okay, we've got a minute to play off the faceoff. Puck dumped in the Massena zone. Comes in behind the net. Around the boards it goes. Cameron after it. Comes up with a puck. Trying to feed it ahead. It's out to center ice. Bigelow. Here comes Jeff Bigelow on the open net. He fires it at the open net. It's just wide as BFA has pulled their goalie. They clear the puck in behind. They got the extra attacker out there. Out to center ice it comes. Here comes the Bob Whites flipping it in the Massena zone with 33 seconds left. Aaron Barkley in behind the net trying to tie it up. Staying with it, jamming for it. The puck still free, finally picked up by Villeneuve. Back to the point. Here's a shot knocked down. It comes out to center ice. Dumped back in. That should be an intentional offside, and it's called an intentional offside with 18 seconds left. You got to try to get away with it, but Greg Murray was right there to make the call.
Right there, and he didn't hesitate making a call.
Now they got to put their goalie back in.
What game does this remind you of that the Raiders played earlier this year? Possibly the Rome.
I was just thinking about this, very much like the Rome. The only thing is BFA didn't take any stupid penalties like Rome did. Okay, we're down to 18 seconds left. Face off, BFA zone. Jake Morris, who else to take the draw?
They don't need this. Just bring both wings back. Tip it ahead, Jake.
That's the coach talking.
Yeah, don't draw this one. Tip it ahead.
Off the face-off, back to the point. Barkley just flips it in behind the net. 14 seconds left as they slide it around the boards, and it slides slowly out to center ice. Into the Massena zone. 7 seconds. 6, 5. Villeneuve has it, trying to hit the side of the net. 2-1. That's going to take care of it right there, and Massena wins it 3-2. And after a case of bust legs in the first period and some hard-hitting Bob Whites, Massena came back, and I tell you what, they got to be proud of themselves. They did a heck of a job here tonight.
Super job. And if we're going to pick stars out there, number one star in my book tonight, Todd Hayes. If he hadn't played strong in that first 2 periods, he played strong throughout the game, but those first 2 periods when BFA were really flying and the Raiders were a little sticky. In fact, the coaching staff out congratulating first guy they tapped in the head, Todd Hayes. He played an outstanding game in those first 2 periods and kept Massena in this game till they got their legs.
Boy, he sure did. You know who else played pretty well? Todd Collins, who has not had a lot of ice time this year, and he had some great shifts out there on defense.
He didn't start out there in that first period, maybe the latter part of the first period or the second period. He started to get a regular shift, and he really added a dimension, those fresh legs and quick speed, and it was really evident out there. And after that first period and a half, the Raiders took the game to BFA. It was theirs in the last 2 different hockey games. First period and a half, BFA had the edge, and the last period and a half, it's certainly Massena Central.
So the Massena Red Raiders win it on a score of 3-2, an exciting hockey game here at the Collins Pearly Civic Center in St. Albans, Vermont.